Hey people, D-Man here, and today I am reviewing Adventure Time Distant Lands Together Again. This is the third video in Adventure Time Distant Lands. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be the last video, but something messed up with the third one originally, and then they made this one the third one, and then the third one's going to come out fourth, and it's going to be the last one. It's kind of weird, kind of mixed up there. Um, but yeah, so this is the third video. It's really good, and I'll do spoiler free then spoilers. So spoiler free, really quick. Spoiler free. This was good yet disappointing at the same time. They had some stuff in there that I liked, and some stuff in there that I really didn't like. Like it seemed kind of rushed at parts. Um, can't really say that without spoiling it, but I'll say that when I do spoil it. But it seems kind of rushed at parts. There are some cameos in there, but not enough cameos in my personal opinion. Um, it just it just wasn't what I was hoping for. It just wasn't what I was hoping for. It was supposed to be like kind of like emotional, I guess. But it just wasn't what I was hoping for. At the end of the day, it just was not what I was hoping for. Which is just kind of sad. But all in all, it was still fairly good. It wasn't like horrible, but it wasn't like the best thing I've ever seen. But it was still very good, I guess. Fairly good. But I wish it was better. I wish it would have been better. That's my takeaway. That's my last part. I wish it would have been better, but it was just okay. Anyways, oh yeah, voice acting, um, good, just like usual. Animation, pretty good. It showed some good animation there. It was actually really good to be honest. um, Characters, good like usual, as good as they were in the TV show. Um, let's see, characters, animation, voice acting. Yeah, everything else was just pretty good, but it was a little bit disappointing, and I'll tell you why in the spoiler section. But I would still say it's good enough to give a watch. I just wish it was a little bit better. But anyways, spoiler section coming up.
Just remind you to subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment, share this video, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok down below.
So, spoilers alert. Okay, so this episode, it starts off with Finn as his younger self and a old memory of him fighting Ice King with Jake. And then Jake dies, and then it turns out Finn is dead as an old man in Death World, and he turns himself back into a young man in a Deadland, I guess the Deadlands. Um, and then he goes out on a journey to find Jake. He goes on this journey. He meets the new death because the old death has died from the new death. And the new death is a jerk. He's basically just a mean person. So yeah, he's just like a really mean person. He just wants to destroy everything. And later on we find out it's because of the Lich. Which was just kind of popped in at the end there, and it was kind of lame to be honest. I'll be honest. It's like if we're gonna fight the Lich, we gotta really fight him as like the real bad guy. But it's just kind of like no, he was just controlling the things behind the scenes, so it was kind of lame to be honest. So that happened. But anyways, Finn goes on a journey to find Jake. Eventually, he finds Jake, and Jake is kind of like ascended above everything until he finally snaps out of it and is just like, "Hey, Finn, my brother." And Finn also gets to see his family. And what's that kid's name again that Finn has a mortal rivalry with? I guess Tiffany. That's his name. Yeah, but Finn sees Tiffany again. And we see a bunch of characters that are dead. We just see them in the dead world. Which is cool, I guess. It's interesting. Although we don't get to see every character, like Lady Renicorn and stuff like that. We don't get to see them. But we'll talk about that in a second. So basically, Finn goes to find Jake. He finds Jake, and then Jake and Finn go on a journey to stop death. Eventually, they stop him. The Fox character from a few of the episodes, he becomes a new death, and he makes everything better. And just makes everything nice and easy, I guess. And then returns everything back to normal. And then Finn and Jake go to be reborn into who knows what. And it's pretty interesting, I guess, to see that happen. It's pretty interesting. Anyways, oh yeah, and we also find out that Finn, he can turn himself, into his past lives, and so can Jake. And Jake used to be, I forgot her name, but Finn had a past life of a girl, and we've seen this in one of the episodes. And Jake was her tiger. That was pretty cool to see. That was pretty cool to see. But anyways, so that's the whole story. And it was fairly good for what it was. It was just them being reunited in death. Now the parts. So that's their story, and I found it enjoyable enough to watch. So let's talk about the parts I found disappointing about it. So first off, let's talk about the cameos. So there was a lot of cameos that I really did enjoy, but there was some cameos that there wasn't some cameos that I kind of wanted to see. Like, first off, Princess Bubblegum, Marceline, didn't get to see them. I don't think we got to see Simon, so we never got to see him. We never got to see Lady Rainicorn or Jake's children. Never got to see them at all. Or any of his grandchildren or anything like that. So that happened. So those are the things I'm really disappointed in, that we didn't get to see them in this future reality where Finn and Jake are dead, and see what they're doing. Another thing I'm disappointed in, we didn't get to see how Jake died. Was it by natural causes? Was it by one of his adventures? We didn't get to see how Finn died. Was it by natural causes? Was it by one of his adventures? So yeah, we never got to see any of that, which sucks, I guess. It really does suck. So we never got to see that, which is one of the parts I really wanted to see. I really wanted to see, like, how they died and, like, what happened exactly, and why Finn was with Jake's great-granddaughter or something like that, I guess. So yeah, I was disappointed in that whole thing, that we never got to see cameos from those people, even though this one was supposed to be the very ending one, if I'm not mistaken. It was supposed to be the very end, which would have kind of sucked that we never got to see those people. It just kind of ends. And then we have another thing I'm disappointed in was the villain, as I already said. The villain is the Lich, and I just... Man, the Lich is a good character that they use good sometimes, but sometimes they don't use him good. And this is one of the parts where they didn't use him good. They just made him like the person that took over death and the person that was inspiring death, and he became death. Sorry about that little cut, but as I was saying, it was just kind of lackluster that he was just like making death do his bidding, and then at the end he kind of takes over death, but he doesn't really do anything much other than that. You don't really like get the point that he was doing the stuff until the very end, which is kind of predictable. But at the same time, I feel like if you're gonna do another story with the Lich, make him the main baddie. Don't make him like the side baddie that's actually ruling over the stuff and actually doing everything, just like lording over everything. It was just disappointing in my personal opinion. So that was lame, I guess. So I really wanted to see the Lich do something more. If you're gonna lose the Lich, use him in a good way. So yeah, that was my problem with that. And all in all, I would just say it was a good episode. Not as good as the previous one. if I were to rate these so far, like BMO, and then I think it was what was the Marceline and Bubblegum one? I don't know what that one was called again. I forgot what that one was called. But the Marceline and Bubblegum one, and then Together Again. If I were to rank them, I would have to probably put Marceline and Bubblegum one first. It was the best one so far. Uh, man, this one is like tied with BMO. Like I think BMO might even be slightly better than this one, to be honest. Because this one was good, but it was so disappointing at the end as well. So this one's probably like the last one, my last favorite out of all of them. But it's okay still. I feel like they were trying to make it more emotional than it was. Just to me, in my personal opinion, it was fine. You know, it was fine. I was disappointed that we didn't get to see a lot of things, but it was fine. um, but yeah, so that's my thoughts on this. That's my thoughts on this. Let's see what else. Um, I so let's talk about what I would have wanted them to do. Okay. That was let's talk about what I really wanted them to do at this ending stage. What I wanted them to do was show Finn and Jake's life and show them how Jake eventually dies and how Finn gets together with his great granddaughter or whatever it is and see what their relationship is. See if Finn ever had any kids. See how he eventually dies. And see the reactions of the people around them to their deaths. Like, you know, Marceline and Bubblegum, see what they would do and stuff. Like, I just think it would have been so much more impactful if we actually saw them die. Especially if Finn saw Jake die, you know? And then we got like a little montage of Finn's life until his death. That would have been cool. Like, it would have been cool. This is what I think should have happened. I think this should have been the final adventure with Finn and Jake, where they went on an adventure and then Jake dies at the end, either due to old age or due to the adventure itself. And then we see like a funeral and we see like this tearful goodbye. It would have been like, oh my goodness, that's so cool. Yeah, it would have been like, oh my goodness, that's so cool and so sad because he's dead. It's like, oh no, it's so sad. And then we get to see Finn move on from that and him team up with I think it's Jake's granddaughter or something like that. And we get to see like why they teamed up and what happened exactly and like how this story progressed. And then I think at the end I think they should have shown like a montage of like Finn's life and see like him growing older and older, maybe getting some kids of his own, and then eventually dying himself. That would have been super cool at the end, and then it would have ended, and we would have been like, "Oh man, that was so tearful because that's how it happens. That's how Finn and Jake died, and that's how they went on." But instead, we got this, and this was okay, I guess. It was them reuniting in death, but I really wanted to see them in life and then dying and then like Finn having to deal with that, and then eventually getting like a little montage of Finn's life at the end, and then him dying. And it would have been really cool to see that and see like the reactions to them both dying. And it would have been like, oh my goodness, and that would have been the perfect ending to this whole Adventure Time Distant Lands thing. But this, to be honest, it was disappointing, and I'm hoping the next episode is the best one out of all of them, and we get to see everything that we want to see. But I highly doubt it. I'm hoping that they'll make episodes where, like, I know these are the last four episodes and there's only one left, but I'm hoping of all hopes that they'll make like at least one or two more episodes where they show Finn and Jake's final adventures and how they died and all that stuff. It would be so freaking cool. So, in summary, I guess it was okay. It was good to watch. Sorry about that little cut. But as I was saying, it was okay. It was good to watch. But at the end of the day, it was sadly disappointing, and lacking what I really wanted to see. Uh, so yeah, that's my review. It was good. It was nice to watch, but I wanted more. It left me with wanting so much more, and I'll probably never get it, sadly. Hopefully the next one does a better job, but this one it was okay, but I wanted so much more in this one. I was expecting so much more, but nope. So yeah, that's my review. I hope you liked it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell notification. That's the best way to keep my channel. Link down below to my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And as always, friends, stay sane. Peace.
Just remind you to subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment, and share this video. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok down below.
Shadow, my baby, I love you so much. You're my baby. And you love to sleep in the bathtub. 'Cause you're a weirdo. Shadow, look over here, buddy. Look over here.